Today on Mob Rules,
we talk about cameras. No, we camera things with the talk about to make Gathering Storm.
I made a viral video. Thanks, Hitler.
Ooh, and it itches.
Yeah.
All that.
Not much else.
Not much else.
Yeah. All together today's
On
Mob Rules. So good. So good.
Well, yes. Hi. Let's see. What level?
Let's adjust levels.
Adjusting levels.
Little inside baseball there.
All right.
I know it sounds better to you when I'm turned all the way off, but
the important part is
if I could not be.
All right. Well, hey everybody.
Hi. Welcome to Mob Rules episode.
I think we're 42?
42?
42? Or is it 43?
43? Something like that.
I think
low 40s.
Yeah.
The train keeps on running. I am John.
Hey, John. How's it going?
Doing good.
So good to see you.
Joined by
you have
Ted,
nicely washed
always.
hair.
I do.
Somewhat not quite coiffed, but
Phil is on
spiky.
location right now in Cadia. I hope nothing happens to it.
We'll interview him later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I really hope nothing happens to that one at all.
He might sound like you.
Ironically, Fall of Cadia came out.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little bit. We had an accidental viral video. Thanks, Hitler.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah,
I would love to see stats on like how many people have redone that video. Although I have to say, like, I think yours was the best, and not just because I'm biased, but
thanks,
that was pretty hilarious, and I think it was very appropriate.
I decided to be like 2 hours late for work one day. I called and said I was going to be late. I got laid off the next week, so I don't feel bad about it anymore.
They're sitting there trying to figure out, like, who should we lay off? Well, John's pretty good. Emma's okay. Emma didn't take off 2 hours last Monday when we needed her to re-audit the tills.
Oh, man, that does sound like a genuine, boring conversation that would happen at my old employer. I put that up there because I was so goddamn sick of hearing about end times, 40K end times.
Is it pretty bad on the internet?
It's my trigger word right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely terrible. 40K isn't ending, or no, I'm sorry, that's not true. 40K has been ending for 30 years. It is an end time story since inception.
Yeah.
So not like moving the plot doesn't necessarily mean that, oh no, shit, it's end times. They're going to blow up 40K.
But it wasn't really an end time, though. It was a change time. It seemed like, right? Like for some people, yeah, like the Acadians who had to move off the rock.
There's still Cadians. Cadians
had to move.
Their greatest export is Cadians.
They lost their mobile home.
Yeah. So yeah, they're homeless now.
Yeah.
Like I will soon be.
Oh,
too real. No, not really. But yeah. So I made that because I was so frustrated with it. And it kind of took off. So thank you if you watched that. Watching me bitch. I found finally the wonders of the YouTube comment section and the cancers that lie within.
Oh, did it show up on the
Yeah, because most of our videos on our YouTube channel were better than when we first started, and we're getting like maybe 10, 15. No, we're about 100 now, 120 of you. But with that comes mostly positive feedback.
Yeah. Totally.
So now we're sitting, I think it's in like 12,000 views, and man, there's just some cancer in there.
Oh yeah. Gosh, I think it'd be really kind of cool, and I've been wishing this since the 90s when I was on AOL. But it'd be nice if, like, right next to somebody's username, it had their address.
Or just a picture, like an honest-to-God personal picture of their face. I feel people wouldn't be dicks if I could, like, find you.
Here's their face. Here's their address.
It's going to be like the end of the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they spend all their movie money and go around the world finding people on the internet.
Yes.
Like, did you say?
It's as though Kevin Smith had experience with the YouTube.
Maybe. But yeah, aside from that, on the YouTube front, Ted, you've had an unboxing video come out for the
the trivertebrate.
The trivertebrate of the Imperium. And then we're going to have one coming up for the Fall of Kitty book. And we're going to look through that. Glorious long ways phone video for some of it, so I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
And then my Eisenhorn playthrough is still happening.
What do you think of Eisenhorn? Like,
it's as a game, it's not the greatest.
Okay.
The combat's a little janky. Like you can't really control your dodge. I mean, a little of that comes from the fact it is a mobile game that they ported over to PC.
Oh, okay.
But the story, I mean, I've never read the books, and I've been yelled at for not reading the books now. After playing the game, I'm going to go back and read the books because it seems really, really good. And Mark Strong does the voice of Eisenhorn.
So is this the one? I remember leading up to something. It was maybe it's just the Inquisitor game. Is there a difference between Eisenhorn and then Inquisitor? Because there's another one that's supposed to be like this third person, but you can rotate your camera.
Oh, Inquisitor Martyr.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, that's
so
a new game that we'll be playing, no doubt. Later.
How does Eisenhorn relate to that?
So it doesn't really. It follows the events of the Dan Abnett books of Eisenhorn. It's kind of like playing a story. I mean, it's gentle. There's a couple of quote unquote challenging sections of combat, but mostly you're kind of just following the story along.
Okay.
And for that, it's been good. I mean, it's a good telling of the story. I have a couple of issues with it, but mostly it's been fun, and it's been getting some good feedback.
Sweet.
Then I started playing Sanctus Reach, which is actually surprisingly good.
That looks like a fun. Looks like a fun.
It is.
It is a fun.
Building up to play some skirmishes on that set. So
I thought that was just looking at the modeling on there, or it looked like they took exact replicas of like the CAD files for everything and like just put them to life.
I think my only issue with it so far is you have
they
your
use
little
the Spaceful CADs. What is his hair doing?
Oh my god, it was
something
so
about
bad.
Mary.
His hair, it floors me to this day. That's a little in-video joke. Thank you for watching, Ted. The individual models, so if you have like a unit of 3 or 4 guys in the same square, all of their animations are synced. So they all move at the same time, and that just throws me off a little bit there. But yeah, it is what
and
it
that
is.
was a mobile game too, right? Or was that PC?
No, that was PC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from the people who made Armageddon. Sterling, one of our friends here, says it's kind of a simpler version of that. So we'll see how it goes.
Sweet.
And then on the hobby side, I've had
You've
a lot
been
of
hobbying. I heard
I've had a lot of free time recently. As I'm in between careers. I know. I'm excited. So I know I finished painting my 2,000 point Eldar army. So that's all gone and done. So I think in 2 weeks I painted 100 models.
Oh, dang.
So I mean they're tabletop quality. I know that, but at the same time it's better than plastic. And then I finished the Wraith Knight, and I've just been kind of doing an hour a night, no matter what. So,
nice.
Following there's a Facebook group actually. That's the hour a night, and like that's really making me.
Was that the independent characters and Adon who was doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a few of those guys in there. So yeah, and it's really forced me to do things, and rather than kind of sit around and just lull and do nothing.
Oh, okay.
So like some nights I've done Skaven Blood Bowl, some nights I've done Eldar, other nights I've done Imperial Fists. It's been super, super good. And I played games. I actually played games.
Girl!
I know. So I did a 2,000 point test game for LVO. My Eldar against Sterling's Iron Warriors.
Oh, okay.
He took a Lord of Skulls. So that was...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Luckily, part of my list is 15 drop, and I know Scatter drop Melta. Okay. So I didn't really survive.
Really? You didn't,
No.
Did you try this... Oh, wait. So you were doing... Okay, so you had your... was it Fire Drakes? Is that right?
Yeah, Fire Dragons.
Fire Dragons, okay.
So I had 15 Fire Dragons and 3 Falcons that don't scatter when they land.
Oh, nice.
And then
they still couldn't take him down, huh?
No, well, they took him out in one turn, yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. It took all 15 of them, though.
I gotcha.
Because I rolled a lot of ones.
Well, how many points is that versus Lord of Skulls? Because they're 666?
I know they're 800 points odd base. 888, I think.
Yeah, because I thought it was like...
Yeah, it's the core number.
Okay.
They're like 120 points per squad.
Okay.
So 360 plus the Falcons. So that's about equal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 600
and then they still got to run around afterwards.
Yeah, and then they went and killed everything else. The beauty of my list is like one of the guys in our local group was saying, like the beauty of my list is it's all Guardians with weapons platforms and Falcons and Fire Dragons, and that's it. So it's like if someone goes, "Hey, how are you going to take care of Shred?" Because the Falcons have Bladestorm. So
okay.
And they're like, "Well, how are you going to take care of Melta?" And that's it. Repeat. There's a warlock in every unit for psychic defense, so most stuff is being dispelled in 5 or 6.
Okay.
And yeah, it was fun game to play. After that, I played a new guy, Pat, I hadn't met him before. He just kind of moved down from Fairbanks. And he had some Necrons going on.
Okay.
The first turn was rough. Oh, man, I thought I was going to lose. And then the second turn, my reserves didn't come on. So I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to lose.
Wow, that's important.
Yeah, especially when they're coming on in a 2-up.
What was he playing? Like, did he have a lot of armor?
He had the troop transport that they have there.
Which one?
The Necrons, the
barge,
the Annihilation Barge.
Okay.
So the gun version of that.
Yeah.
He had a Treyarch Stalker, Immortals, a couple units of Warriors. He had a Satan, which absolutely died first because I put everything at it. But no, it was a good list and some Wraiths. No Kinetic Harvest. I feel he could have added a Kinetic Harvest to that really easily because he was running Wraiths and Scarabs anyway. So he just needed to add a Spider, and that would have been a hell of a lot more difficult to deal with. But I managed to pull it out and won that one too.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good to get back into it. So now I got a few more games I want to play before LVO, and then by the time people are hearing this, it's a week away.
Oh, okay.
Shit, I don't know.
So I remember, like, for a long time we had was the competitive versus narrative. You know,
yeah.
We had our debate ages ago. How long? It's been like a year. Since
it has
almost.
been, the mid-20s.
But so how are you feeling now? Like, you're going for the narrative, or not the narrative? You're going for the friendly, yeah. But I know you have that competitive twinge, but then occasionally it gets beat down, and you go back to like fun games. So how are you feeling now? Like, you're testing out your fun list.
I feel pretty good. At times,
do you want to go back to your competitive list, or
I probably will. I mean, I feel my list is competitive. Like there was times when I kind of felt bad about Sterling had a Chaos Lord that routed 2 units of Guardians in combat because I failed leadership and he overran me.
Okay.
But at the same time, each of my units is putting out 412, like 16 strength 6 shots with rending if it wounds on a 6. So there's a lot of grossness in that list. And there's an avatar of Kane in there. It
seems like the cool thing about that is like it's low threat stuff. You know, it's not you don't have anything on the table that people are like, oh shit, I got to take care of that. It's just it's just Guardians.
And I feel like it's really competitive right now because in our grav heavy meta, when everyone and the mother's taking like grav bikes and Centurions, who gives a shit about Guardians?
Yeah.
Oh no, you wouldn't be on a 5. Oh god. Well, please don't. So yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, like I said, I do have a competitive side. I can get competitive during game, but I am having fun, kind of just playing the narrative, forging my own narrative, if you will. So aside from putting in Windows, what you been up to?
I don't think I've done anything hobby related. I think it was picking up the trivertebrate box, and that was, and I picked up what did I pick up? Everything that I picked up, I've been putting back in the box and like sticking in storage. But it was really cool. I think I did pick up the Mechanicus Get Started box because I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of the Magos in there and then the Magos and the Trivertebrate box.
Crawl.
Yeah. And I was really impressed. Like, I didn't, I looked at the Magos that originally came out and like, okay, that's a decent sized model. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's nothing impressive, but it's bigger than a guardsman. But then when I saw Call, I was like, oh, I wonder.
Balls.
He just like smokes him. Like, there's just like a huge size comparison or a difference between the two of them. He
is huge.
And I know you said like the size of a Carnifex, and I mean, I think like footprint wise, mass wise, no, a Carnifex is bigger, but like he's taller, I'm sure, then because he's got all these fiddly bits and like his staff is
walks
ginormous.
On books.
Yeah, wherever he goes, the books just follow him.
He has 2 servitors who are there to purely put books in front of him.
And thy feet shall not touch the dirt; they shall be on holy scripture only.
Sir, you haven't had your feet for millennia.
All right, my little metal hooves. But I thought it was kind of neat, like going through that kit, because thinking about like you talking about how he's the size of a Carnifex, like there's a lot of Tyranid influence in his design. Like he has all those arms. He does have like kind of like a like this insect like carapace that's on him.
Sure.
And I know the Mechanicum kind of have that with like their little crab walkers and stuff like that. There's kind of like a slight kind of feel to a crustacean
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he definitely, like, there's all these multiple arms. He's like a ginormous metal hormigant in a way, with itty bitty little pinchers that hold the most valuable artifact on the planet or in the galaxy,
which is this little tiny key, right?
Yes, it's so ridiculous.
Which is completely on display in front of him at all times.
Yeah. You can't have this.
Look at it here. You can't have this.
They took it away.
Oh,
Get
man.
it back. Celestine. Miss Celestine.
Oh, such nerd rage.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I'm looking at the between the designs that they had there, and then like the designs that are coming out of Sigmar, and then the new Eldar that are dropping.
I'm sorry. You mean my incredibly huge erection for models that happened yesterday?
Well, I'm excited to see that. Part of me doesn't like the way that things are going, but part of me loves it. Like in a design aspect, like they're taking the art and they're making it more like the models are more art. Like they're more like this energetic sculpture that's happening. Like the people like flying in from ghosts like mist. Like the Eldar that's, I don't know what she was doing with the horns. I can't remember which one it was, but it was the one with the horns, I think. And then
she has. It's almost like half of her face is like demon-y. So now that's the avatar of Vinage you're talking about.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, but it goes from like back in the day when it was. Almost like Legos, like make the guy you want to make. Here's all the different options. Here's how you can customize it. Like we're really going into very specific, like, like I noticed on one of the Celestine's coterie, they had the chest plate and then they had like this rim of hair. It was just her bangs were attached to her chest plate because her hair just happens to fall just right there. And like that, it was so intricate the way they detailed all that. And like, it's so exact that... it just transcends like the way they used to do things.
So one of the rumors that was going around that they were the reason they didn't have plastic sisters is because they were having like shitloads of trouble with the hair and they couldn't get the hair right.
Oh,
so that when I saw that as well, that it was like there's two separate parts. Maybe that's the only way they can get in and get that kind of textured, multi-layered, like crunchy hair.
That makes sense.
With doing it, I mean, all of the new models, like the cowl, the Celestine, the Gemini, it makes me giggle, makes me think of like a 70s TV show. And Greyfax, they all have kind of that monoposeness to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all beautiful models, don't get me wrong, but they're all kind of very set in their silhouette and their look. And I think that's kind of a design thing we're seeing them go towards is everyone has a very distinctive silhouette. Like if you were to just see the silhouette of Celestine, you would know it was Celestine. And the same thing with this new avatar of Enid, the sword of Enid from the Elder Triceratops box. Like I said, everything's kind of moving to like when you see that silhouette, you instantly know this is this model.
Yeah,
which it really helps. And of course they're gorgeous and they're amazing. Yeah. And the conversion possibilities are there, but this really started back with the Imperial Knight set. Yeah. Where we were like, well, shit, how come... Remember when the Imperial Knight came out, and we're like, well, why can't we move the legs?
Oh, yeah.
Because everything was kind of molded on there, and it's just kind of, I think...
Everybody's synchronized dance.
Right.
Left foot forward and your left foot out.
I think they're just trying to make it so like they have all these cool things, but it's a very... that's an Imperial Knight because of the pose and the look and stuff like that. And people do move them around and look at it, and it looks super cool. The majority of us plebs who aren't going to be able to do that, it's again immediately from looking at what it is. Everything is very unique in that standpoint.
I think that's kind of like there was an expectation, at least from like coming from more of like a modeler customizing and so on. Like I was really excited as time went on that like there were so many options and like the posability was like enhanced with a lot of models and stuff like that. And I think it is. I think it's also important to be mindful like where we came from. That like we have a character, and even though it's just because it's in plastic, and that's where I'm clicking. I go like it's plastic, thus you should be able to mod it.
Sure.
Whereas a while ago it was like fine cast, and you just accepted that it just comes like that. And like when it was metal, it just came like that. And so
it was fine cast, and you hated yourself for having to work with it.
Yeah. So I guess it's like it's those little boxes that I guess that sometimes we put ourselves in or put things in around us, and like thinking of it not so much in like this is a plastic kit, but this is a character kit, and this is
it's a clan pack, or a clan box, I guess, which is something else. Giggity.
Yeah. I gotta watch that episode.
Clan box of the Imperium.
So it's cool. Like I'm digging it.
Yeah.
It's tight. So. But yeah, so let's take a quick break and get into some Gathering Storm, huh?
Yeah, just the first part though.
Oh, okay.
Gathering Storm 1.
Oh, okay.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
And you ready?
Yep.
All right, welcome back, guys.
Hi. Well, what's happening?
I have a book in front of me.
I have a book in front of me, and we're surrounded by equipment.
This is crazy. We were just reminiscing about like how easy podcasting used to be.
I know.
Before we invented the headphone. Because we invented the headphone.
Yeah, we did. So when we started podcasting, we had our single board to our single recorder with our microphone. I think we went through about 3 or 4 different microphones before we found these ones.
It was tragic.
It's pretty good. And then, then we're like, oh, wait, we can hear what we say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a revelation.
Yeah, when we invented the headphone.
Yeah, when we invented that phone.
It was, and then now that we're doing cameras too.
Yep,
so
we've added cameras to it.
Sorry, people who can't see this right now, go to our YouTube channel and look at my dancing hands.
Yeah.
I'll have to make sure to use
and then
that
smash cut to mine. As we have a 2-camera setup right now. It's pretty good.
So Gathering Storm, you had a chance to really look through this while I was picking my son up.
I sort of looked through it. I did a couple other things too around the house.
Oh, cool.
But no,
master bait.
No.
I'm trying to find another master. Something.
Yeah, master
key.
Master Chiefs in my bathroom. But no, we have our Gathering Storm #1, Fall of Cadia book. I would assume this would be part of a series as one, and also because they've already announced #2.
With the Eldars.
But this was really kind of helped solve Sister Player's tears because we had the return of Celestine. Because after the Imperial Agents book, when she was dropped from the Sisters lineup, there was much crying about that, but as you can see from our kind of a page here, Celestine is back in her finest,
hallelujah,
spindly glory and the Sigmari wings.
Yeah. Well, my buddy was showing, like when I did that unboxing and we were looking at it. This model, I think, on picture looks a lot bigger than it really is. Like if you look at it, that base right there, is a Terminator base.
Oh, 40 mil.
Yeah, so it's really not that huge, and it catches the wind. I think, like as you put it together, I would seriously recommend putting some weights underneath it. Like it catches the wind pretty well.
I think so. I think because I don't trust the little spindly, so I'm almost inclined to pin her to the base as well. Put like a rod or something, maybe surrounded by more doves, or
I'm staying away from that one since last episode. But yeah, it's a beautiful looking model. I'm really happy with it. I think the last one looked pretty decent, but I don't know, something about like the spindly is unfortunate, but I'm really seeing like there's a third party that does the magnetic trays. I can't remember who does it. Was it
Table War maybe?
That's right.
Yeah, I
think
it's
right.
Table War.
But this would be a great candidate for it. Like especially like all the new Age of Sigmar, like the Celestines or whatever you call them, the Celestials, like great candidates for it. So
yeah, I would like some custom cut foam for my incredibly spindly.
I wouldn't trust it.
Oh god, it's so hard. All right. As you can see, kind of the first few pages of the book here, it's a mixture of old and new art.
Yeah, so this is 3rd edition cover.
Yep, it's classic.
Black Templar.
And especially because we have the return, really, of the Black Templars to the fore as a crusade, and then some awesome art of Benoit Balls. No, Carl.
Mechanicus. I dig, like, I think we were talking a little bit earlier about like how he has like this Tyranid-ish kind of feel to him with like the extra arms and stuff. You don't really see it in this art, although you do kind of have like you have his belly arms that are helping hold his staff. I think he has 3 hands, like on
his jerkin hand.
Yeah, not holding the key today. But I do see like a whole lot of like 1950s sci-fi stuff. Like you have all the vacuum tubes on his carapace, and then like that loud hailer that he has.
You just
has
imagine like when he walks by, either the
kids, stop running in the hall, kids.
But no, like the first section of the book here, we all have kind of the background story about what's going on in the galaxy. Long story short, it's fucked. Everything's messed up. Cadia is under siege by the 13th Black Crusade again, just like 2005 or whenever it was first under siege.
Thankfully, that didn't last long.
No, thankfully, Chaos players whipped everyone's ass, and Games Workshop was like, oh.
Take backsies. Just kidding. So what was the Buried Secrets? Do you remember what that was about? Was that and it looks like it has to do with the Mechanicum, right? Did they have anything to do with the gate, do you think?
No. So what we find kind of in this book here, no spoilers. The pylons, the Caden pylons, were actually Necron technology.
Ooh. What?
Yeah,
I thought it was Skaven.
Yeah, I know. Space rats. What were they called again?
Oh, they were talking about the Hrud for like a second.
Yeah, the Hrud.
And then they decided that wasn't.
But yeah, it's just kind of Necron technology, and what Carl found out. He kind of visited a planet that got attacked during the 4th Black Crusade. Was that had pylons too. So the Necrons had made pylons for kind of like an anti-chaos purpose.
Okay.
And kind of the Black Crusades have been kind of slowly getting rid of those.
That's interesting because it seems like it seems like the Necrons are the antimatter to chaos in a way, right?
For sure,
like
for sure.
Because they have no souls, they can't corrupt them. It's just automatons. So what perfect? You have to get rid of the Necrons in order to take over the galaxy.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You have to collect all the kryptonite, or in this regard, get rid of the positive kryptonite.
So you have Pokemaster Trazon here in his museum. One of his artifacts starts ringing. It's a bell or something he got.
Okay.
It's super in-depth coverage here.
It wasn't a psychic dog.
No, but it murdered like 5 of his exhibits in his museum. And shit started exploding everywhere. And that's when he's like, okay. Yeah. And then he sees that there's the trouble in Cadia. It's described as kind of like
Infinity Stone.
Yeah, it's kind of described as kind of blood red, kind of emanating from Cadia.
So it's like a vision, or
no. Trazon has like a map of the galaxy, like a real time map of like a security camera for the shit he's left behind.
That's great.
So he heads to Cadia after seeing that there.
Okay,
and that's when he teams up with Call to use those pylons to stop chaos.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we go to the galaxy map. And now how does a lot of this tie into the Fenris? Because you read through the Fenris books, right?
Yeah. So
that was a precursor to the whole shit going down, right?
So yeah. Fenris happened, and then the Dark Angels and Space Wolves made up, and they're all lovey-dovey again. And then they headed to Cadia to stop this. So
did they fall in love again? Did they rekindle their relationship before or after?
They play Careless Whisper on the way.
Okay.
little jazz solos. But yeah, so on Cadia itself right now, you have Cadians, obviously. They're not racist. You have Space Wolves, Dark Angels, all kind of defending their little bits. You have Creed, Tactical Genius. And you have a multitude of other Space Marine chapters. You have Sisters of Battle there, all kind of defending against chaos.
Being defendy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you do when you're defending.
Smash cut.
What?
To Terra.
What?
Where we have our Imperial Fists.
Oh, okay.
Aboard the Phalanx.
I like that name.
Boarded by Bellicor and a bunch of, I believe, Iron Warriors. And they get their ass handed to them because, like, the guys they have left in the Phalanx, those guys are the scrubs of the Imperial Fists. So it's kind of like,
borrowed from other chapters.
Yeah, bestiarize the spoilers.
Hey, Crimson Fist, you get this one.
So, Garadon and his third company, when they're losing,
It's not a Pokemon.
I know. Well, we're not a Trizon right now.
Okay.
But he takes his third company, and he manages to beat back Be'lakor and some of the Iron Warriors, and then he, because what Be'lakor's trying to do is fire the Phalanx's guns at Terra.
Okay.
So in order to have that not happen, Garadon kind of blindly warp jumps away. And he's like, and Be'lakor is all curses. And that's when they show up right at Cadia.
Okay.
So they blindly jump to Cadia,
It's kind of warp travel in general. It's kind of like, hey, let's hope this works out.
That's true. So when they arrive at
But this seems like even more so.
They arrive at Cadia, and they bring some guests with them.
The Siege of Cadia Secundus.
In the out of the warp, they pull Saint Celestine, and I believe an entire ship of Sisters of Battle.
Oh shit!
Just randomly.
Okay. Wheel of reinforcements.
Yeah, wheel of reinforcements. So they arrive at Cadia.
Works. Ah, fuck.
so they arrive at Cadia.
Okay.
And then Celestine goes about doing her saint thing, stabbing demons. Killing
releasing
things,
birds out of her butt.
Releasing birds, making John Woo proud. One of the cool stories I heard is the twin sisters, the twin canonesses of the order that was at Cadia. They get killed by demons, and Celestine cries because girls.
Okay,
and that brings them back to life, and that's how you get your Gemini twins.
Oh,
they're the
sweet.
former canonesses, and now they're the Gemini twins, which still sounds like a '60s pop group to me.
Oh, okay.
But
so every once in a while, she just like pinches her septum every time they die, knowing that they're not going to die forever. It's like, oh, I have to cry. Ah, ow, that hurt. Ah.
Oh, septum. Okay, that's what you said.
What did you think I said?
Pinches or what now?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Trazon, the Pokemaster, arrives at the Kanto region of Cadia.
Okay.
And he unleashes from his Tesseract vault a company of Ultramarines from the 30th millennium.
Oh, shit.
Contempt or dreads and all.
Wow.
He unleashes just a bunch of Imperial troops as kind of backups and reinforcement.
Had he been holding on to them for the last 10,000 years?
Yeah, they were in his museum. He collects things. That's what he does.
Shit.
So
that's impressive.
And
hey, I got an army in my butt. You want to see it?
And one of the other things, and of course, the Ultramarines come out and they're like, oh, wait, what the fuck? We've been in prison. Oh, chaos. We'll be back for you later.
So you can't get mad at him too much.
No, you can't get mad at him too much.
All right.
Another person he releases is Inquisitor Greyfax, who is another millennia old Inquisitor who's being captured.
Okay.
And of course, she gets out. She sees kind of demons everywhere. She sees like everyone worshiping an idol of the Emperor, and of course she's from a time where they don't worship.
So she was also been there for 10,000 years. You said?
I don't know if it's 10,000. It is thousands of years. She's been there for a while because the whole idea of worshiping the Emperor seems wrong to her and heretical.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have kind of this nice dynamic, and in the story, there's a couple of really nice passages.
It must be because now that we're reading the Beast Arises, that's the 32nd millennia, and at that point they're already worshiping the Emperor, right? So like she must be from before that. So it
must be
at least 8,000 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least it's there's some really nice passages in the book, kind of conversations between Greyfax and Celestine about which with your demon powers. Because she can't stand Psyker, like all that kind of stuff there, showing kind of that dichotomy. So there's a lot of really interesting conflict in the book between you have conflict between Cowell and Trazon, kind of like Xenos technology and saving the Imperium and the decisions that have to be made there between Celestine and Greyfax about kind of faith versus the Imperium.
So he starts to kind of get more in bed with the Necrons, right? Does that come into play in this?
Yeah, he doesn't really have much of a choice.
Okay.
It's kind of like they had a MacGuffin to kind of take care of all of the weapon. Like, we can stop because they have a Blackstone Fortress. Chaos has a Blackstone Fortress.
Okay.
Like a planet killer, like a 40k Death Star. And they had a MacGuffin to take care of that, but it got destroyed. That's about as much detail as they go into there. So they have to kind of start using the pylons. Well, they send a Suicide Squad to take care of the Blackstone Fortress, and then the Phalanx takes care of it and blows it up. But they really kind of he did his little mechanicum calculations, and he figured out he didn't have much of a choice. And
It sounds like a Star Trek plot. All right, guys, we're about to try something. It's terribly dangerous. We might all die. No, let's not do it, Captain. Let's try something that's safer. Oh, didn't work out. Well, let's try the thing that might narrowly kill us all. Hey, it worked.
like putting too much air into a balloon. So yeah, they finally activate the pylons on Cadia.
Okay.
So what happens is the Eye of Terror starts like shrinking and contracting and getting smaller until the pylons stop working, and they pretty much blow up and rip Cadia in half.
You know, have you ever dripped like salt onto slugs?
I've gone on the Imperial Night page a couple times and made fun of their firing arcs,
Maybe
but that's about
it.
Yeah,
they just took a nerd salt and just sprinkled it onto the Eye of Terror, and it shrunk.
This book is like 80% salt.
Okay,
like I'm going to use it to season. But really, kind of there's the narrative in this book is kind of obviously not kind of the quality of the Forge World books or the Imperial Armor books, where kind of that's a high standard to me in battlefield narrative. But there are a lot of cool moments, like I said, and just having so many kind of, to me, this is the book of buddy cops. So you have like Greyfax and Celestine, you know, roommates that don't want to be together, you know, oh, she's neat, she's dirty, but kind of being forced to work together. The same thing with Trazon and Cowell.
Okay.
Cowell doesn't like him or his methods. Trazon's just Trazon. He's there to, you know, poke a master everything. His ultimate goal is to catch Abaddon.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that's what he
that's
wants
a good goal to have
to add to his collection. And he gave up so much of it to get him there. Spoilers: he doesn't make it because you know stuff happens. I won't go into how Cadia falls. I mean, the spoiler fall of Cadia is in the book.
Yeah,
Cadia falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Greyfax.
Oh yeah.
Oh, her design elements are just awesome.
So I think she looks like a great model. The issue people have with her is just the look of why would you have high heels and power armor and everything? And then I think people just forget the aesthetic that the 40K has.
Just ridiculousness.
Everything is turned up to 10.
And I think also, like, you know, just talking about the was it you or Andy that was had watched an interview with the designers for the that Space Marine movie we watched?
Yeah,
and they were saying that I think it was like the reason they hadn't done a live action movie was that it was near impossible to have to be able to create that kind of Space Marine armor that would actually function.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it's like the whole design of Space Marines is physically impossible. Like,
so
fuck it. You may as well just make it look good. You know,
well, what you're saying is that we need to start having body shaming pictures on our Marlboro site and be like, this is an unrealistic expectation for men, and have like a Space Marine there.
I have never heard a paraphrase so perfect.
I know,
that's exactly what I said.
That is, yeah. That's you're welcome. One thing I really like about the Greyfax model here is I'm opening the Greyfax page.
Are we going to go back to the fluff, or are we?
Yeah, I'm done with fluff.
Okay.
Yeah, you should read it. It's going to be a pivotal book in 40K. I think it's going to be talked about for years, kind of for the stuff that happens in it there.
Okay.
The important thing to take away with it is kind of we're building our relationships. These new characters are being introduced. You know, new characters who are millennia old and kind of fish out of water elements I really enjoy in the storytelling. But at the same time, I mean, there's spoilers out there, but I don't want to go kind of like word for word about what happens or who dies or all that other kind of stuff.
Okay.
Or how Creed kind of outflanks a Warhound Titan.
Badass.
I know. But yeah.
Okay, so here we have Inquisitor Greyfax. 150 points. What do you think? I mean, I'm seeing Mastercrafted Contemner Bolt Gun. Mastercrafted Power Sword at Strength 3. That's not amazing, but that's okay. Frag grenades, crack grenades, psych out grenades, which is pretty cool. We now see those on 2 models, right?
Yeah, she's the weakest of the 3. That's not necessarily saying it's a bad thing. She's still a solid choice as an HQ. She has a 24-inch area around her, kind of a bubble, where people can't infiltrate.
Okay.
So that's a kind of a great denial area, and if she's teamed up with someone like Kodiaz, then you're kind of forcing people into certain areas. She also has her own psychic power.
Okay.
It is that if you target the unit, they take a leadership test, and if they fail, they're pinned.
Okay.
Sorry, if they pass, they're pinned.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's a pinning test, and then if they
fail their pins,
if it's passed, then the power is in effect.
If they pass, that unit still can't run Sweeping Advance or Overwatch
Or Turbo Boost.
Or Turbo Boost. So like her, like strength isn't great power sword, but she's really kind of a support character, where she's really pushing out all these buffs and kind of setting everything else up to kind of do the big damage and destruction.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's a good choice.
So it looks like let's see. You can also you can modulate it. So you either go Warp Charge 1 or 3. Warp Charge 3. If you do so, this power targets all enemy non-vehicle units within 12 inches of the caster. So versus 1, so you can do it like a big bubble, or you can just do like, hey, take a pinning test. So that's pretty dope.
It's pretty good.
Well, let's go back. Before we get too much into that, there was something that I really liked about this earlier, if you don't mind, and that was the missions. And then let's go back into the characters. But I think that, like, having gone through some of the other campaign books, each one adds something. Well, I can't say they all add something different, because I think some of the campaign books all have a Planet Strike or Cities of Death.
Yeah.
So, but this one has something that's kind of unique, and it wasn't. I've seen some campaign books that do elemental effects, but it's like roll a d6 and that's the effect. This is, it's a d66 for the Empiric Storm table. So we're in the eye of the storm.
Sure.
And so, like, I think you and I were going through this earlier, and it's crazy shit that might happen. So depending on what you roll, you might have to dice off and place a Bloodthirster on the table.
Yeah.
Or one of your Psychers might have to take a leadership test or die and become a spawn.
Or one of your Psychers might double his toughness and strength for this phase. It's a neat table that adds really kind of, you have to like view with the warp being in flux as it is, as the 13th Black Crusade goes out, to the pylons really kind of affecting the psychic field.
Yeah.
Like it's mentioned in the book, when the pylons are turned on, Celestine kind of falls in her strength because she's weakened by it, and all the demons are kind of slowly being banished away. So when you're in such kind of a warp zone like Cadia is, it makes sense to use a table like this.
Okay.
I sadly don't have the models to use this table.
Yeah, there's a lot of call for demons. You need demon spawns, you need greater demons, but there are other things that I think this is definitely a good. It fits a narrative of allies versus demons. I mean, it's very much to the narrative. I mean, not to overuse that word in one sentence, but I mean that's really what it is. So chances are you're playing with demons. You have demons on the table. You can pick up additional demons and so on. So it's not gonna, like, there's some things that make take away demons and vulnerable save. That's not gonna work out so great if you're playing Eldar versus Imperial Guard. But
it's definitely something you're gonna have to, and you're gonna excuse. I hate saying this, but forge the narrative with. It's not something really you show up at a pickup game and you're like, hey man, let's use the Empiric Warp Storm table.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm playing Tau, you're playing Necrons. Great.
Oh, there'll be some salty ITC players.
Yeah.
But so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. And like you said, is it suitable for competitive play? No. Absolutely not. But for a narrative game, it's fantastic. And I hope to play a couple games with it. I'm just going to have to get some demons together first.
Yeah. And the missions, I think, are pretty standard. I mean, not standard like you've seen them before, but it's relative to the to what you have. I mean, a lot of them. I think there was one where Saint Celestine shows up, and everybody's rallied and fearless for the first turn. It has feel no pain, and then like the rules kind of change depending on what turn it is, and so that kind of adds a little bit of fluff to it,
sure.
A little bit of flavor with an A, 2 A's.
They do a really good job of kind of breaking the narrative of their books down into mission form. A little part of me wishes I understand kind of the books are broken up like fluff, mission, army rules. Part of me wishes kind of the fluff chapters or sections were broken up by missions. I think that would be kind of neat as well. So you would read up to a certain point and then, this is when this battle happens.
That's true. I think the first Sanctus Reach book, they didn't do that, but it was like you go to like you read the mission and they give you a synopsis at the top, which they did here, and then you go back and you can like read up. I think like the chapter, the name of the mission was the same as the title of the chapter, and so it was really easy to marry that. I think the second book they kind of broke it up to where they really kind of intertwined the plots a little bit more. So you had these battles, so like mission 3 and mission 4, like were happening simultaneously just like on different parts of the battlefield. Like here, Durantis is fighting the orcs, doing this thing, while Captain Whitelock was running in with his stormtroopers over here. And so, you know, they ended up like intertwining the story as well. But I feel you, because, you know, every time I get ready for a mission, like I don't want to know the ultimate end goal of everything. I want to kind of feel it as I go. And so, yeah, you want to be able to like read the chapter and like get hyped up for the game.
To be fair, like how shitty would it be if you were like, okay, so you read the story and you get super hyped for it, and then you see how the battle's laid out and you get super hyped for it, and then you get your ass handed to you. And then the next page, you're like, you should have won.
Yeah.
Or like a choose your own adventure campaign book, like those Steve Jackson and Ian Livingston ones. Like if you turn to page 89.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are great. And I think like something that I didn't see in here that I did see in that the Sanctus Reach, and I actually don't remember if they were in other books, was kind of like a perk table. So if you won mission 4, you got to add +1 to your reserves, or, you know, depending on what you were. If you were the orcs, you got to add Tank Hunter to your guys, or if you're the Imperials, you got to add Feel No Pain or something like that.
There's part of me that thinks that they put the 13th Black Crusade in players' hands before. There is no chance in hell they're doing that again. So there is no randomness or perks or benefits.
Yeah.
Just here's some missions.
Oh, okay. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Go play in your basement with your friends.
Say hi to your mom.
Don't tell us what happened because it didn't work out last time. Okay, so now we got some data sheets. Back into the characters.
So like I said, Greyfax's probably the third best character in this book, and that's not necessarily a bad thing whatsoever.
She's the third character.
But she's still a great character.
Yeah.
It's just she's not the best option.
Okay.
I would say the second best one here is Belsaris Cal.
Oh, okay.
He is kind of a supportive beast. He has his own special canicles.
Okay.
He can buff things up, like he can give vehicles a 4+ invulnerable save, or +3 ballistic skill, or it will not die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all well and good.
It will not die. Make 2 it will not die rolls for affected units instead of 1. Oh my gosh! Or 3.
But here's the deal: is it going to happen very often? No, because to get that you need 8+ units with canticles.
Oh, okay.
With the canticles rule. So, you know, everyone's like saying the sky is falling. You know, Imperial Knights running around with all around 4-up invulnerable saves. But if you're playing an army and you're not able to get a Mechanicus player under 8 canticle units by turn 2, then you're doing something wrong. Maybe try shooting them. So, like I said, well, it's pretty good, and he is very good. He's very durable. He's tough. He's got high toughness, high wounds. He recharges D3 wounds a turn.
Oh, he will not die.
And yeah, he gets to re-roll his Feel No Pains if he fails. He's a beatstick, but his only issue is he's not as durable as Saint Celestine.
Yeah. Well, I would like to point out that he is only 200 points, and for characters, like, that's not unheard of. So it's, I think he gives people a lot, and probably he gives them more than what he costs.
Yeah.
But game changer, we'll see.
You say he's only 200 points, and then you look at Celestine,
who's also
200 points.
Yeah.
And this is going to be...
Also, it will not die.
I'm pretty sure she will be kind of a permanent inclusion in Death Star units in competitive play. Story-wise, yeah, she's great. She has it, whatever. But if you kind of look at it from a competitor, you have these Death Star units where you have kind of Captain Smashfucker on his bike and kind of like, you know, the Space Marine, you know, Super Friends. With Celestine in front, she's tanking all the shots.
Okay.
She has a good invulnerable. She has a 2+. Before she's wounded, you have to go through 2 of her guards,
which have 2 wounds each.
Who have 2 wounds each.
Toughness 3, so autocannon or assault canning them to death.
Yeah, or scatter laser or whatever it is. But every turn, one of them comes back.
Yeah, that's
so every turn you have 2 regenerating wounds, and then Celestine herself, when you take 5 wounds and you die, she magically comes back again. And this time, it's not like you can kind of surround her so she can't be deployed. She just moves to the nearest area possible where she can't be deployed.
Really cool.
So she's essentially, you're going to have 12 to 14 wounds you have to get through, and she's Eternal Warrior, so her slow toughness doesn't matter. You're going to be beating on her for a while.
And it's cool. I think we're comparing her to the old Celestine, and they bumped her up to 5 wounds, so instead of 3 like she was before. So I mean, she's hard to kill in the first place. I mean, to keep killed.
Yeah,
she doesn't killed very
keeps on
well.
coming back. Oh man, but yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
and she's got the only real difference now, apart from kind of the Gemini twins, is she has an orbital bombardment.
Oh yeah.
So
and armor bane on her.
An
weapon.
armor bane on her weapon.
Although she's strength 3, so
Yeah,
up to 5. Yeah. Taking out sentinels left and right.
And then kind of our cover stars
hey,
here.
great facts.
Our Triceratops of the Imperium are kind of a formation from this. Really, the benefits of taking all 3 of them, one is 550 points, so that's a hell of a sink.
Oh, yeah.
But you get to use all of their warlord traits.
As long as they're next to each other, right? If you choose a model from a triumvirate of the Imperial to be your warlord, as long as you, which is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Make one your warlord.
they're great, so you get 3 warlord traits pretty much for free. And then Inspiring Presence. Mm-hmm. You got to be within 12 inches of them, but they're fearless.
Of at least 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's decent. That's okay.
And it's pretty good. Formations, again, we have our Conclave Aquatorius.
We didn't bust this out. I wish we'd sat down and crunched it, but Conclave of the Aquarius, that one is something like 3,000 points minimum or so?
Yeah, that's Conclave Aquatorius.
Yeah.
I believe, anyway. Yeah, they're both of these formations.
It's an Inquisitor that inquires office supplies.
It's the Spanish
it's
Inquisitor.
Latin for office Inquisitor.
Both of the formations, the Wrathful Crusade and the
Okay.
Conclave, they're both super expensive points wise.
Yeah.
They're going to be they're almost apocalypse formations with how big it's got to be to have them. Both of them, you need to max out units in there in order to do it. It's
But let's see. Chronicles of the Omnissiah. During army selection, each character from the may upgrade one of their weapons. Okay, so everybody can have a master-crafted weapon. Yep. All your characters. Maximum number of units. Okay, so if you have a maximum number of units, then all the units in this formation of the Doctrina Imperialis, the special rule. Okay, so you get the Scutari Doctrina.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty good.
It's not like wow, but
not game breaking.
Okay. Yeah. Wrathful Crusade. So they have Chronicles plus the. Okay, so basically it allows them a double dip. Like everybody has everything.
Yes.
Okay, that's decent actually.
It's pretty decent, but again, it's thousands upon thousands of points.
Yeah. But looking back to like those charts, when we were talking about like, all right, you're only going to be able to have it will not die with 3 dice if you have 8 units. Well, that's pretty easy to have 8 units until people bombard the crap out of you.
Unless people are like, hey, you want to play a game? Yeah. What's the point level? 3,622.
Oh, that's that.
Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Kill team, please. So, Wrathful Crusade. Everybody gets Crusader.
Everyone gets Crusader, and if you max it out, everyone gets Zealot.
Okay. And then all units, the reroll failed charge rolls. Okay, so that's okay. And then they get Furious Charge if you roll a 10 or more on the...
And they can reroll failed charges, which is pretty baller.
Yeah.
But nothing, I mean, it's all nice and fluffy, nothing hugely, bonerfying.
No.
Until we turn the page.
Oh, what? I just got all the boners.
Yeah, Grand Convocation Detachment. I.e. what Cult Mechanicus and Scutari should have been in the first place.
Yeah, so now we're seeing, like, when they teased us with each book, now we can put them together.
To be fair, you still do need each book.
Oh, well, okay. We can now tape them together.
The Grand Convocation pulls units from Codex Astra Militarum, Codex Cult Mechanicus, Codex Imperial Agents, Imperial Knights, and Scutari.
Okay.
So if you kind of max out your units, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. This is getting me back to Tyranid times.
Really?
I have to take 6 books with me.
Okay, so we have this book plus Scutari and Admech.
Yep.
Knights.
Yep.
And what were the... Imperial Agents and... Astra Militarum.
Astra Militarum, yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, there's some good options in there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the only thing it pulls from Astra Militarum is an Engine Seer. And because you have kind of 2 to 4 slots, an Engine Seer is kind of a good cheap choice to put in there, especially because you're probably taking Cowl with that, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So what was there was some boon to this one. All vehicles in this attachment have it will not die. Oh, that one was pretty good. Okay, so automatically gets it will not die. And if it's within 6 of a HQ, you get Machine Spirit.
Power of the Machine Spirit. POTUS.
Yeah.
Podmus.
Okay.
Podums?
So then you get, as long as you have a maximum number of units, In your troop section, you get Chronicles, Canticles of the Omnissiah special rule.
It's pretty good.
So it just gives it to everybody.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which kind of helps with Cal.
Yeah.
And his testicles of the...
Testicles of the Omnissiah?
Arc Magos.
Testicles of Grandpa Touchy.
And now the thing that kind of made me buy this book in the first place, because I was on the fence about it, is the Castellans of the Imperium detachment. This is the kitchen sink detachment for Imperial forces.
But there are no Skitarii in this, despite the marketing.
Alvar Skitarii on the page here.
There are no cats in America.
I was going to say, I'm super sad there's no Skitarii. I'm going to have to console myself with the Wyvern batteries, the Devastator squads, the Centurion Devastators, the Scout Sentinels, the Drop Pods, the Assassins, the Bane Blades.
I'm sorry, all I heard was blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God. To me, the Castellans detachment is everything an Inquisitorial detachment should be. In all the book, and I've, the more I'm reading, the more I'm focusing on the Inquisition. Kind of that's where my extracurricular reading's going. And to me, they're just people who show up on the planet and they're like, you work for me now. This tank is mine. This is mine. Your PDF force, this is my retinue now. You Marines over here, help me out.
Here, put my personal logo on it.
Yeah, pretty much. He has a personal logotier who goes around with him. But so what this allows me to do is I can make now an army kind of based on that.
Okay.
I can kind of take my Inquisitors from my HQ, and then I can be like, okay, you infantry platoon are with me. Land Raider, Crusader, they need to come with me too. Now,
Centurion Dev Squad with grav cannons, all of you.
No, that'd just be Devastator Squad with or grav cannons.
Oh, you wouldn't do the Centurions?
No, I'd get like an Inquisitor and Terminator armor to walk along with the grav. Remember, there's still a competitive part of me.
Yeah.
It's all the fluff. But this to me is a fantastic list.
Okay.
Also, kind of with the leaks or the kind of the releases that Games Workshop have done with Gathering Storm 2, Fracture of Beal-Tan, I really hope there is an Eldar version of this. With Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequins, all in one list.
That's the rumor, isn't it?
God, I hope so. Makes me very excited. I'm going to have to buy some Reaver jet bikes.
Yeah. Gosh, I love it. Like, I think the Lords of War, I mean, you get everything. Like, if you want, like, all the knights, plus anything out of the Militarum book. So, gosh, I mean, one of the things that I always wish that I had playing Space Marines was access to the Bane Blades and all that other stuff.
Yeah, now you can. You just got to put a little Red Inquisition eye on the side of it.
The Inquisition of Iron Hands. What? Nothing. Inquisition. We're Inquisition. Pain of mind.
But it's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
It's not quite as kind of large as Wrath of Magnus or Curse of the Wolf, and where we kind of had those 2-packs where kind of you have your fluff book and you have your fluff book, you have your rules book, and it's separated out. This is kind of just one single one. It is also about half the price of Wrath of Magnus and Curse of the Wolfen. And it affects a hell of a lot more armies than that, though.
Cool.
But yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think it definitely a little bit more affordable. And because they are coming out with those books so frequently, I mean that is kind of nice. Just having a little tease to the fluff, but I don't know.
And it's got me excited for playing Imperials again. Like that, like all my armies for 40k. I mean, I have a 30k Imperial Fist Force. Yeah, I've occasionally played Space Marines on 40k.
Yeah.
But mostly I've had Orcs, Tyranids, Eldar. Now I've always been kind of a Xenos player. But like
the alt Xenos.
The alt Xenos, yeah. I need my safe space. It's called a webway. But now, like I said, all the Inquisition books and things like where that's kind of where my interest is going. It's matched up with this Fall of Cadia, where I can kind of take everything in the kitchen sink in there. I can take my Imperial Knight Renegade box that is sitting upstairs unbuilt, and I can build it and add 2 knights to my Space Marines in my cabinet and add an assassin to that, and that's really easy to make a detachment.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
It's super good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, that was Gathering Storm, Fall of Cadia.
Yeah, and that was a microphone tap. We'll be right back.
Do you like cookies but want something more British? Buy biscuits. Not like those you have for gravy. British biscuits. For dunking in your British tea. Stiff upper lip guaranteed. Biscuits. As recommended by Queen Liz of the Britons.
Yay.
Oh, man.
Belisarius Call.
Oh, man. Well, that was good.
That was good. I think Belisarius Call has an Audi.
You think so? If you're interested,
he has
you're
that
a listener.
one tentacle in his belly button.
if you're into, there's going to be a video version of the last section going up on your YouTube page. We're trying out new things.
Yeah, new things.
We're your audio video podcast.
Like 2 girls, 1 cup, not 3.
No, dude, that's like literally like there's only 2 or 3 things I've seen that have made me really want to vomit and gag.
Was the other one Ron Jeremy doing Wrecking Ball?
No, the tooth pulling scene from Saw. I don't do teeth.
Oh, I haven't seen. Fingernails is my thing.
Yeah,
like the click of fingernails.
Yeah, so that and scab porn.
I use scissors. Scab porn.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like the popping zits and all that stuff? Is that
no, dude, scats poop.
Oh, scats.
Yeah.
Oh, scats porn. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, next week by release date is the Las Vegas Open. And Tad, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go, Tad?
No, I'm not. I just got word that we're not closing on the house till the 31st, which means I'll be putting up my painting table on the 31st and finish painting units. I'll see. I'll have 1, 2, 3 days to paint.
What do you have left to paint?
I don't know, because I haven't been able to look at the models.
Oh shit!
I think everything's put together. It's just like it'll be fine. Like it might not be completely clear coated and looking the best, but a lot of the units, like a lot of the drop pods and
how many points is it?
1,500.
Okay.
And that was kind of fun because like you couldn't bring anything that was Forge World that wasn't stamped. So if it's experimental, so I couldn't bring the Dorito
or quad mortars.
Been around for well, I don't have any of those. Unlike you, all the quad mortars.
I'm a fun player.
It's fun for me to kill off your army.
Yeah, in one shooting phase.
And I think I didn't, but I tried not to get like too cheesy. Like even though by now nobody complains as much about grav as they used to.
Oh, I still complain.
Okay, but I decided not to go with grav cannons, so instead it's like las cannons, and it's a lot of dreadnoughts. So I think there's like 4 in there for 1,500 points.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That means I don't have to continue painting them.
The story you're trying to make is I don't want to paint a lot.
Yes, that's exactly right. I'm going to have like 1 Razorback. I think I took it out. So it'll just be the Whirlwind. I think you could bring Forge World. Yeah, that's right. I said it. You could bring Forge World.
But just not experimental Forge World.
The Scorpius. I'm going to bring the Scorpius.
That always does work for you.
Yeah.
That drop pod as well.
I'm going to bring that.
The Spartan.
I'm not bringing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it's a couple units of scouts, 1 unit of tactical squads, the assault Marines, and a drop pod. And then a few dreadnoughts and drop pods.
Yeah.
And Tech Marine, because he's the only HQ painted.
Nice. But yeah, so we will be down at LVO from the Thursday through the Sunday.
Yeah.
Taking part, again, Ted, you were working the narrative.
Yeah.
I'm doing the friendly.
Yeah. And
there's about 16 of us going down from Alaska. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I have had 0 advice on tattoo parlors, so Tim and I might just be tattooing each other in one of the rooms.
Please,
so if you'd like a tattoo of a penis.
Can I film it and then superimpose the music from Ghost on top of it?
Yes.
I think that's appropriate.
I couldn't envision a better scenario.
If you see us, come say hi, and we'll be shocked, like literally shocked that you do.
He just died. We just killed the host to Mob Rules.
I know, yeah.
They're saying
hi.
Oh
my God, yeah. Hey, you're that one shitty podcast I listened to.
Who is it? Is it David Singer? Is that his name? With Frontline?
Yeah.
So I think he invited us to come shoutcast something.
Oh, yeah. We're going to check out the Twitch table.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be exciting. We're hopefully going to be taking some video footage, too, if we remember.
It's probably going to be drunken...
Well, to be fair, Ted, I know you don't drink.
So I'll video.
So he might be behind the video. I do have a Steadicam setup. So
you'll see Ghost Hand come from behind the mic with roofies, offering them to the gamers. Hello, would you like a breath mint?
Feel free to buy me a beer. I will be drinking. Myself and another guy from up here, we're doing the friendly tournament. 4-hour time limits and slight alcoholism really talks our language. So, yeah, we're excited.
I'm really also excited. Non-game related. Like I want to see kind of outside of town. I've never been to Vegas, so I want to see some ghost towns and some detritus and I see some abandoned stuff. I know Las Vegas probably isn't all that abandoned, but there's stuff nearby. So if you could sneak me onto a military base, that's
if you listen to Resident Evil Extinction,
then
Las Vegas is abandoned. Yeah.
Oh,
it's just surrounded by zombies.
Okay,
but then again, that is a movie.
So be that and Mila Jovovich running around.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's entirely what it is.
Childhood fantasy come true.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. So from Mob Rules, I have been John.
Hey, John. How you doing?
good.
Welcome to Mob Rules.
Oh, episode 43. Shit already.
And I've been Ted. Have a great night.
Bye.
This episode of Mob Rules has been brought to you by Mob Rules Media. Please join our Facebook group and be part of the conversation at facebook.com/mobrulesak. You can also email us at themob@tophat-arts.com. Thanks for checking us out, and we will see you in 2 weeks.